I'll bet you thought I forgot about this. And I told you, remember when I brought power, I brought power down from up above in the house. I brought it down. I used a flexi bit inside the wall, took the electrical outlet out, took the junction box, the plastic box out of the wall up there. And remember I told you if you don't have a flexi bit, maybe you could come down underneath the floor and do it. Well, if you were to do that, let's just push this back. Okay, I think you can see that. You were to do that, I wasn't sure if you'd have enough room, and because the floor joists are going this way, there's plenty of room through here, right? If the joists were going this way and if they're real close, you might not be able to get a drill up there. Because see, there's plenty of room to have a drill and a paddle bit, and you could come up from the back side and drill up. And just for kicks, I'm going to measure over from the wall, from down here to where I've got that drill at 56 inches. We'll go back, we'll have to remember that. So when I go back up, we'll measure off the wall and stuff. So I'll show you how you could do it without a flexi bit. You'd have to come back down in here and then figure out how deep the wall is. This back is like a belly band, and usually that's 1.5 inches wide. And so obviously that's part of the wall, because that's the belly band for these floor joists, and then the plywood goes beyond this edge 1.5 inches or 1.75 inches, whatever the thickness of these TJIs are. If it was a 2x12 band, it would be 1.5 inches. So then that's part of your wall. So you wouldn't want to drill up, well, wherever you drill, you know you're going to be in the wall basically. Okay, 56 inches, 56 inches, I'll say. And just for the other thing, I've got the hole up here, and you know, some guys, they don't have much electrical down here, but some guys, if I had some that insulation spray, I could spray that up in there, right? And that way it wouldn't allow any air up there. Granted, I've got the insulation pulled up here, but I still have a possibility of air going through there. Plus, if you have mice or rats or something, they find your way up here. This is a very good way, a direction to get inside your wall. And then if the mouse climbs up your wires, gets up here, squeezes through that hole, believe it or not, they'll squeeze through that. And maybe they can't find their way out. They make a nest there. They have some babies. And maybe for some reason, you get a mouse or a rat that dies inside your wall. That's not a pretty sight, because then it stinks. And you're like, okay, do I have to cut the wall out, or am I hoping that I'm never going to have that problem again? It might be because of something like this. And so I've got just some toilet paper that I've been using to blow my nose and stuff. I'm just gonna shove some in there for kicks. And the floor, the floor plywood is only 3/4 of an inch thick, so I can't push it up very far. Okay. And granted, if I had mice or something, they could chew that out of there. But I could put insulation up there too. Got a little bit of insulation. I can put that over that. Okay. I could put caulking if I didn't want the insulation. Spray. I'm not going to go to the store and buy a whole bottle of that just for that one hole. I could get any kind of caulking, mastic, construction adhesive, whatever. You can fill that hole up or what have you. But because I can get down here, I've never seen any mice. We've never had any problem. If anything were to happen, I can come down here nice and easy, and do something different down there, or check on it or whatever. But maybe next time I come down here, remember I told you I was going to do all kinds of stuff down here. I might bring my caulk gun down here and take that out and put some caulking, some caulking in there or something. Okay, and 56 inches. Okay, and so, you know, if you're just going to do that one thing, chances are, if you can get underneath your house, maybe you don't have to buy one of those flexi bits. You could buy just one single flexi bit. Remember, I had a whole set. That was like $60 for those 4 pieces. If you just want one flexi length, a 3-footer with maybe the drill bit on the end, maybe you find one that's just already pre welded on there, not a quick connect like what I have. Maybe it costs you about $30 at the store. You don't want to do that. You can see this just happens to, I could have done this with the drill and my paddle bit. Okay, but I got the flexi bit because I'm going to end up doing some other stuff in the house that's going to require a flexi bit. I should have had my little mask on, huh? Got it right here in my nail bag. Look at that. I should have used that just then. Just moving that insulation a little bit is you know, you can't, lots of times you can't really see what's happening with it, and it's just all those little particles, and that's glass particles coming down. So have your goggles on. You know, I had my goggles, my mask on the other day when I ran the wire and pulled the insulation, you know, messed around with the insulation, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's, I'm gonna try to find this video clip and I'll put it with the other one. So I've got to remember, what was it, 56 inches? Do you remember? 56 inches from the back wall. We've got the door right there, so we go up there. I'm going to measure off 56, and I'll talk to you a little bit more up there on how I would have gone around about figuring out which bay it is and where I could come through here, because maybe wherever the hole is, maybe a TGI is right next to it, and then I've got to figure out, okay, which side of the TGI do I need to go? You know, let's just talk about that just quickly on this particular clip. Let's say I go up above, and let's say I figure out where that bay is. That bay in there is not necessarily the same where these floor joists are. The 2x4s in there could be 16-inch centers here, 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 wherever they are. They don't necessarily line up with these down here. These are just floor joists, and the plywood is holding that. Follow me? So let's say I figure out that there's a stud up there here and one here. And I think, okay, anywhere between this measurement and that measurement I can go. When I come over here, I think, oh man, I got this. Okay, at least if I know where the bay is, where the 2x4s are, 2x6s are in the wall upstairs, I can figure out, okay, it's here and here. Okay, I can drill right here on this side of the floor joist, or I can drill here on that side of the floor joist and still be within the bay of where I need to pull the wire, where I've got the box on the wall, you know, where the electrical outlet is. Does that make sense? I think it will, because we'll talk about this a little bit more next time I'm up there, and I'll include it with this video clip. Let's do it. Okay, I've already done 2 lights. You'd think I'd be getting better at it now that I've done a couple, right? Yeah. Ooh. Okay, I've got a light here, and one wire comes in, one wire goes out. Doesn't really matter which is which, does it? So I am going to, rocks hurting my foot. Let's see if I can't get resituated here. Okay. dokie. I'm gonna cut this wire about the same length. And I'm not gonna throw that away, right? I've got my bag here and I'm just gonna throw it in there. Because I could use that for pigtails whenever I need them. Now I'm going to strip these wires. And I don't have to strip it all the way to where it comes out of the box. I'm like within a half an inch or so. Okay,